What's good, YouTube? In this video, we're going to be taking a look at how to clean your Nike Air Monarch situation. You don't need a lot of things to clean these bad boys and get them back to looking decent and cool, but you just need a few things. So I normally use some sort of soap, a brush, but you don't need a brush. You can just use a towel if that's all you got. I use this cup right here and I put a little bit of soap and water in there, and then I add a little bit of baking soda, and then I soak the shoestrings in there while I'm cleaning the shoes. So therefore, they're getting soaked, saturated, and some of the dirt and stuff can actually break off of those bad boys. And I go ahead and add more water because it wasn't covering the shoestrings all the way. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and get that soap and water in some type of bowl or anything that you're not too worried about. And we're gonna start scrubbing them shoes. I normally scrub all around. If you want to, you can scrub in sections, start at the top and then go to the bottom. It doesn't really bother me none to do it like this, so that's what I normally do. Keep scrubbing, make sure to get every nook and cranny on them bad boys. And when it comes to the actual stuff you use to clean the shoe, never use anything that's gonna be like, super duper strong or harsh to the actual material, or it's gonna break down the material. Don't be using like cleaning supplies for the house because you never know how that's gonna act on the shoes or whatever, so I don't fool with that. Simple soap normally does the trick. If you want to, you can go ahead and buy some actual shoe cleaning solution, but to be real with you, it's basically soap water as well, because you really can't go wrong with that. This right here is just some Dawn dish soap, nothing too spectacular. And you see I'm still scrubbing that bad boy real good, getting that lather-rific situation going. And every time I'm drying out with the, the brush, I go ahead and tap in the water and grab a little bit more, because you're trying to break up all the dirt and dust and all the stuff in them crannies, so you don't have to do more after the fact. Then I take a damp rag and I wipe it and scrub it with that. And then I make sure I get it all wiped down, wiped off. But yeah, basically just using the towel, getting between some of the more, smaller spots, because I'm pushing more hard with the towel than I would with the brush. The brush I'm using is not nothing too rough, but I don't really push down super duper hard with the brush. But with the towel, I go ahead and put a little more pressure on it and just wipe away all that soap. It's already looking pretty good, I'm not gonna lie to you. Next up, I'm gonna, just keep looking around at the shoe pretty much, any other spots I missed, and then after that, I'm gonna come in with a dry towel just to dry down most of the material, because you can put it in front of a fan if you want to let it dry. You can set it by a window, whatever the case may be. You can put it outside if you want to, but that might lead to, some type of critter getting inside of your shoe, maybe a spider or something. And I don't know about you, but I ain't trying to have that happen. So the dry rag situation, maybe a fan after the fact if it's super duper damp, but usually this doesn't make your shoe super wet, so should be all good. And as you can see, that bad boy looking back on track. Yeah. But yeah, so far I'm not mad about, the situation that I got with the shoe right now. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this next shoe. This one is not, too sinister. Neither one of them was super duper dirty, but I stopped wearing them because they was too dirty for me to have on. I just don't like them when they start looking dingy. So, it's not the most sinister way it could look, but had to be situated nonetheless. So we're gonna come in again with that soap and water on the brush and get to scrubbing and attacking all those different spots. Get that dirt off of there, because we don't need that. We don't want that. What's the wildest thing you ever used to clean your shoes with? I'm not gonna lie, I done used some doggone awesome spray, and it was not awesome. I used it on some white Air Forces once, and it actually turned them some sort of different color, like they had like some dirt on it. So when I sprayed it on there, it looked like it was taking it off, but it was actually making the material absorb the color of the dirt. But I've never had that occur when I'm just using regular soap and water. But that awesome spray, I don't know. I guess it just made the material do some different reaction type of stuff. I have no clue. But yeah, comment down below what's the wildest thing you've ever used to clean some shoes. We are now at the part of the video where, we're about 4 minutes, 5 minutes something in, I think, and I'm running out of things to say, but I wanted to show the whole process of cleaning these bad boys. You know, some parts were cut out, but if I didn't do that, it'll be super duper long of a video. Also, leave a like if you're enjoying the video so far, if it's gave you any sort of value, or, you know, just like the sound of my voice. And if you don't, dang, that's tough. Now I'm going to come back in with the wet, damp towel and, you know, make sure we get this situation like we did before, wiping off all the soaps and suds. And also, if you need to, you can rinse this out if it's getting too filled with soap, because then you're pretty much just re-adding some soap. But for the most part, I'm still looking cool. Kinda, probably should have rinsed it out, I'm not gonna lie, but it's still gonna get the job done regardless. Getting the shoe looking nice and shiny, nice and cool. Next up, you already know, the dry towel situation. So we can go ahead and get as much of that wetness off of this bad boy as we can. Don't want to leave it too damp because it might take too long to get dry. We ain't got time for that. I actually rocked these bad boys right after I got through cleaning them, so they wasn't damp to the point where my feet was wet. I don't put that much water on these bad boys. That's not cool. Looking pretty good, I'm not gonna lie to you. Got the back side, the other side. Yeah, these boys back in business. Also, side note, this is probably the longest video I've done as far as a voiceover is concerned. And I'm not used to it, I'm not gonna lie. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and you see what we're doing. We're rubbing and cleaning and getting those shoestrings real soapy, real lathery, trying to break up all the mess. Then I'm gonna dip it back in there. Then I'm gonna do it again. And then after that, gonna head over to the sink and rinse these bad boys off. Then I'm gonna show you what they're looking like. And the reason why I'm still at it with these shoestrings, this is a step you really don't want to neglect. If you don't do this step right, the whole shoe cleaning situation is gonna look ridiculous, because you do not want dirty shoestrings. And as you can see, them bad boys is looking spectacular. That's looking just as white as they did out the box, brand new. Then I'm going to take a different dry towel and I'm going to simply squeeze a lot of that moisture out so they don't be damp. Damp is not what you want, because for one, I'm not gonna lie, the shoestrings will get dirty quicker if you just throw these bad boys in your shoe wet. Don't do that. I even put them in front of the fan too to let them dry even more, because squeezing it is only gonna do so much, because they was actually soaking in the water. But as you can see, looking pretty good. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please slam the like button. It's greatly appreciated. It helps the channel out a ton to get these videos out to where they need to go. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.